Learning objectives. After completing this module, learners will be able to describe types of resources on the basis of origin, exhaustibility, ownership, and status of development. Define development of resources. Define resource planning in India, conservation of resources. Describe the land resources, land use pattern in India, land degradation and conservation measures. Classify the types of soils, their types and importance for crops. Define soil erosion and conservation. Types of resources. Resources. Any physical material which is a part of our surroundings and atmosphere and fulfills the need of people is known as a resource. Resources are broadly classified as natural resources and human resources, which are further divided into more categories and their subcategories. Types of resources. The resources are majorly divided into different categories on the basis of origin, exhaustibility, ownership, and status of development. Let's discuss them in details. 1. On the basis of origin. Both biotic and abiotic resources come under this category. Biotic resources contain living things and organisms such as human, plants, etc., while abiotic resources contain non-living things such as rocks. 2. On the basis of exhaustibility, both renewable and non-renewable resources come under this category. Renewable resources can be produced by physical and chemical processes. Solar and wind energy, forests and water are the examples of such resources. On the other hand, non-renewable resources cannot be created so easily and take millions of years in their formation. Metals and fossil fuels are the examples of such resources. 3. On the basis of ownership. Individual resources, community-owned resources, natural resources and international resources come under this category. As its name suggests that individual resources are owned by an individual in the form of lands, plots and houses, etc. Plantation, water in wells and ponds are also some examples of these resources. Community-owned resources are owned by a group of few people, or we can say community or society. Public parks, picnic spots, burial grounds, playgrounds are some examples of these resources. As the name suggests, that national resources are the resources which belong to a particular nation. Roads, canals. Development of resources. Natural resources. Nature provides the different valuable resources as free gift to us. These resources are worthy for all human beings by maintaining their quality of life. People are unaware of the benefits of these resources, hence they are used and wasting them unsystematically, which can lead the major problem of extinction of these resources. Problems of wasting natural resources. People should think once that what will happen if there will be no such natural resources available on earth. They should imagine their lives without water, soil, forests, etc. These adverse effects may lead many major problems like 1. Many individuals will satisfy their greed by such depletion of resources. 2. Many people will accumulate such resources which will divide the society into different categories. 3. It will cause many environmental problems such as global warming, droughts, ozone layer depletion, pollution and social degradation, etc. The resource management can be done by implementation of sustainable development process. Sustainable development. This process satisfies the present requirements without compromising the capacity of future generations. It also guarantees the balance between economic growth, care for the environment and social well-being. Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit 1992. For environmental protection and social economic development at globe level, 100 heads of states met in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil at Earth Summit 1992. In this summit, the leaders signed to adopt Agenda 21 for achieving sustainable development in the 21st century. Resource planning. In this process, the resources are identified across the regions of the country through different processes like surveying, mapping, qualitative and quantitative estimation, and measurement of resources. Apart from that, the planning structure gets developed with using necessary skills, technology and setup for implementing resource development plans, and then compare the resource development plans with national development plans. The area which have high value of economic importance of resources show more attention than the areas which have lack of these resources. Conservation resources. Irrational consumption and overutilization of resources are the main cause of many problems related to environment. To avoid these problems, conservation of these resources is very important. Now let us know the most needful resource, that is land resource. Land supports various activities and processes like natural vegetation, wild and human lives, economic activities, transport and communication systems. In India, the mountains occupy 30% of land area. The plateau regions occupies 27% of the land area, while 43% of land area is plain. Land utilization. Land resources are mainly utilized for the following purposes. 1. Forests. 2. Land on which cultivation is not possible. 3. Other uncultivated lands. And 4. Fallow lands. Land use pattern in India. Land use is always determined by two factors. 1. Physical factors which include climate, soil types and topography, etc. 2. Human factors which include population density, culture and traditions, etc. Here is a comparative chart of general land categories in year 1960 to 61 and 2008 to 2009. Land degradation and conservation measures. In India, about 130 million hectares of degraded land has been identified at present. Here is a pie chart depicts the wasteland in India in year 2000. Now let us know the main causes of land degradation and their respective areas in India. Soil as resource. Soil is one of the key natural resources. It provides nutrition and support to plants. Many living organisms are also present in the soil. Soil profile has 4 vertical horizons as shown here. The topmost soil layer is very fertile and plays vital role in the growth of crop. Indian soils can be classified on the basis of color, thickness, texture, physical and chemical properties of soil. Classification of soils. The soils of India can be broadly classified into 6 categories. 1. Alluvial soils. 2. Black soil. 3. Red and yellow soils. 4. Laterite soil. 5. Arid soils. 6. Forest soils. Now let us know each of them in brief. Alluvial soil. It is found in northern region of India. It is very fertile in nature. It is made of sand, silt and clay. It is important for the growth of sugarcane, paddy, wheat and other cereals and pulses also. Black soil. It is found in plateau of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Saurashtra and Malwa, etc. It contains soil nutrients such as CaCO3, magnesium, potash and lime in abundant form. It is important for the growth of cotton. Red and yellow soils. Red soil is found in parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Ganga Plain and Western Ghats. Due to diffusion of iron, it looks red in color. It is important for the growth of rice, wheat, sugarcane, potato and groundnut, etc. Laterite soil. It is found in Kerala, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Odisha and Assam. It is important for the growth of tea, coffee and cashew nut. Arid soil. It is found in western Rajasthan. It is important for the growth of wheat, cotton, corn, millet and pulses. Forest soils. It is found in hilly and mountainous areas. It is important for the growth of tea, spices, coffee, wheat, maize and barley. Here is the Indian map which depicts the presence of different types of soils. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned. Resources can be classified on the different bases such as origin, both biotic and abiotic resources, exhaustibility, both renewable and non-renewable resources, ownership, individual, community, national and international resources, and status of development, potential, developed stock and reserves. Due to indiscriminate use of resources by human beings may lead to many unforeseen problems in future. The resource management can be done by implementation of sustainable development process. For environmental protection and socio-economic development at globe level, 100 heads of states met in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil at Earth Summit 1992. In this summit, the leaders signed to adapt Agenda 21 for achieving sustainable development in the 21st century. In resource planning process, the resources are identified across the regions of the country through different processes like surveying, mapping, qualitative and quantitative estimation, and measurement of resources. Irrational consumption and overutilization of resources are the main cause of many problems related to environment. To avoid these problems, conservation of these resources is very important. Mining, overgrazing, over-irrigation are the main causes of land degradation in India. Land degradation can be controlled in some extent by plantation, overgrazing control, sand dune stabilization, etc.